Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Terrorizer here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. Today we have a trailer breakdown, but what we're actually doing is we're also going to be breaking down the website for Monster Hunter Wilds. It turns out that the website actually has way more information at our disposal than the actual trailer itself, but what's nice is that in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the information on the website, but we're going to see what the information has through the trailer. So it's going to be a nice combination of seeing what they told us and seeing it actually in action. Now, there are probably a lot of tiny things that even I missed in this video, so if I did miss anything as we're watching this video, you guys, please let me know in the comments down below. I want to see what I missed, I want to see what everybody is catching, and I want to see what's most important to you. But otherwise, let's get on with the video and start with the actual website for Monster Hunter Wilds first. So first on the right here, if we study a living world, it gives us the actual info about the world that we're going to be in. A world with an ever-changing climate. Life here has learned to adapt to the harsh environments, the wildlife developing its own ecosystem, and the humans developing their own culture within it. The first up, it does emphasize that we are going to be having changing environments, and right down here it says each hunting locale features an environment with two dynamically changing identities, one in which the region is harsh and unforgiving, where ravenous monsters fight for limited resources, and another in which the region is vibrant and brimming with life. Changes in the environment also means changes for the monsters and wildlife that live there. So you'll be running into new surprises around every corner. Next, we're going to get on to monster herds. So there's a few things in this one. In the Forbidden Lands, you'll encounter not only herds of small monsters, some of the large monsters of the region may also form packs. Each group has its own place in the ecosystem with its own unique movements and behaviors. So it looks like even some of the large monsters can be considered quite a threat probably if they are all gathering in packs like this. Next, we actually get to study our new mount on the website, an essential companion for traversing the wilds, the Seikret. The Seikret is an animal mount whose exceptional agility will provide the hunter with crucial support out on hunts. Its well-developed sense of smell allows it to guide you automatically to your current objective, so it'll work kind of like the Raider rides in Monster Hunter World, is what I'm assuming here, or any location you select on the map. You can also use your Slinger in certain kinds of items while mounted, allowing you to comfortably restore your health, sharpen your weapons, or even gather materials while on the move. Your Seikret isn't just for travel though. You can also stash an extra weapon in its weapon sling, allowing you to switch between two weapons of your choice while out on hunts. So it is definitely confirmed that a main mechanic of this game is going to be weapon swapping. We're going to be able to have two builds at one time, or well, two weapons I should say. It's actually kind of unclear how it's going to work, how we're going to be having our skills set up if we switch weapons. Does that mean that we switch to our other build automatically with different gear or different skills equipped? In my head, I'm not sure how that's going to work when it comes to armors. So we still have yet to learn how that's going to work, because I don't think it's as easy as switching armor. We've seen in the trailers the hunter can switch between the weapon that's using and a bow gun, for instance. Next, as we go on, the ecosystems, we have the Windward Plains. This looks like the plains from the first trailer. Actually, it's pretty obvious. It is the winds from the first trailer, but we also have, looks like, expansive cave areas. We have super crazy desert systems with water in it as well. We're going to be having some verticality as we see too, which is actually very important to think about, because we'll be sliding up and down these slopes. Water might have an effect on our hunter traversing things. It might have effect on monsters. Lightning damage might apply better damage at the monsters in the water. All kinds of things I can think of. But as we see, it says, as a member of the Research Commission charged with investigating the Forbidden Lands, the Windward Plains is the first new hunting locale you'll visit. The plains are a diverse region filled with sandy deserts, swaying grasslands, twisting rock formations, and other natural wonders. And as it states, the Windward Plains is the first new hunting locale you'll visit. So it turns out that this is all one big area. It's all one big locale. Maybe we'll get a few other locales that are actually just really huge all by themselves. Something really cool. And we have here the monsters of the Windward Plains. First up is the Dosha Guma, rugged, territorial fanged beasts that exhibit an aggressive disposition and inhabit a large range, sometimes observed in large packs. And Capcom has gone to the liberty of telling us that its main habitat is definitely the Windward Plains. So I think what this is implying is that this monster will definitely show up in other areas, or locales as they're called. But going further into the monsters page here, each new monster is unique and fully realized, featuring fascinating adaptations they developed in order to survive the harsh realities of their environments. So we're going to get two sides of every monster, it seems like. It seems like the monsters are going to behave differently, or maybe attack differently, or have better defensive capabilities, depending on what environment they're actually in the locale that you're in. But scrolling down, we did already go over the Doshaguma. Next is the Chotacabra, and it looks like that's actually it for the larger monsters that are shown on the website. So I'm assuming that these are your typical large monsters that are solidified, besides the small monsters, because we haven't seen other small monsters, but it doesn't look like they're going into them yet. So these seem like the starter monsters that we're going to be facing when we start Monster Hunter Wilds. But the Chotacabra says a large species of amphibians that use the adhesive quality of their saliva to affix stone to their forelimbs in order to power up their attacks. We did see in the trailer that stones were collected around the Chotacabra's fists. It looks like the tongue is also super strong, as its tongue is dragging across the ground, as we see here, to pick up all these rocks to give it maybe better defense, but maybe better offense at the same time. Kind of similar to how Rajang powers up its arms and it hits really hard, but sometimes you're bouncing your weapons off. So we'll have to see more on that too. But it also looks like the main habitat is the Windward Plains again for the Chotacabra. But now that we've looked at monsters and the locales, let's go into the actual hunting page. Hunting action is bigger than ever. New moves, a huge variety of weapons and equipment, and more ways to use monsters and environment to your advantage. So the ultimate hunting action. The 14 iconic weapon types from the Monster Hunter series will each make their return, so we're not leaving any weapons out. Now, some might be dismayed by this because it is stating that we're getting all 14 weapon types, so some might think that we're not getting a new weapon. I am on the board that does think that we might not get a new one in favor of new weapon mechanics, but this doesn't state that these are the only weapons that are coming back, you guys. We might still get a new weapon reveal or two, bumping our weapon count up to 16 before this game actually releases. For now, though, it is confirmed we have every weapon type, so everybody playing Monster Hunter World or any game before that, your weapon of choice is going to be in this game, which is just awesome. New action features and new moves for each weapon type will help you make the most of any situation during your hunts. Oh god, this trailer was so cool when I saw this. But look, it says focus mode. Focus mode allows you to aim your attacks and guard abilities. You can also use focus mode to pinpoint monster weaknesses, which can be targeted with special new attacks that will deal big damage, making it easier to space yourself and aim your attacks during hunts. I am confused by this. It says focus mode allows you to aim your attacks and guard abilities. So I don't know if that means that we have kind of a mode where we are free aiming our camera. I'm not really sure what that actually entails. Are we going to be put into a stance with the focus mode as it implies, where we kind of have an omnidirectional input to it? I'm not sure. We're going to have to see more on that. Oh, we did miss this too. Focus mode will make it even easier for players of all stripes to get in on the hunting action. Okay, well, not a whole lot of news there. But focus mode, very cool. I'd love to see a stance play style in Monster Hunter. It's going to be super awesome. I'm a big fan of stances, and we all know that a lot of action RPGs these days utilize stances to great effect. Neo 2, for an example, is a great action combat system based on the stances that you're in, with all kinds of weapons in that game too. So I'm really happy to see Capcom taking a page or a note out of those books. Really awesome to see. But scrolling down, we do get to look at the Slinger. The Slinger returns as an indispensable hunter tool. Use it to fire rocks, seeds, and other natural ammo, or even use it to trigger objects in the environment. So the Slinger is confirmed for Monster Hunter Wilds. But we have the Hook Slinger, actually. The Hook Slinger is the newest evolution of the Slinger, allowing you to gather all types of materials from a distance. As we see up here, the hunter does use the Hook Slinger to grasp a rock that is in the distance. Boom. Just like that. So I don't think it is a Clutch Claw, actually. The Clutch Claw might not be returning, but it's more of a Slinger that can fire and attract at the same time. But it can be used while mounted on the Seikret, also as we see above, and it can be even used to interact with certain environmental objects to trigger traps. I suppose we already did read that up above, and we do see that the hunter shoots the crystals up above. It does hit some of the monsters in the back. It doesn't quite hit the pack leader of the Doshiguma right there. What is nice though is being able to grab that rock from a distance. Everybody knows it's kind of a pain to run all the way over to a pod that you might see, or some ammo or some stones, and that's kind of annoying. It really does break the flow of combat as well. So I'm very happy to see Monster Hunter figuring out something that actually works in terms of Slinger, and I'm very happy to see the Slinger return. I think it was a great addition to the Monster Hunter series. So now let's get on to the characters. This is actually very, very exciting. New allies and a rich cast of characters will support your journey as a hunter. So it looks like we're going to get a more in-depth and fleshed out Monster Hunter story and experience than ever before, probably. First, it states our story takes place in the Forbidden Lands. We did learn that we are going to be exploring the Forbidden Lands as a part of the research commission for the guild. But restating, our story takes place in the Forbidden Lands, an unexplored region where the guild has sent the hunter and their allies to investigate. Get a glimpse of some of the characters that you'll meet as you step into this mysterious new land. First off, Hunter. So this does seem to be us from the trailer. It is confirmed that we will undergo some kind of cutscene, maybe after we've created our own custom Hunter. We did notice also that the Hunter probably is the one talking in the trailers, so actual voice lines seem to be coming back for Monster Hunter. I know that they weren't in Monster Hunter World. They were in Monster Hunter Rise. Some people are a fan of it, some are not. We'll have to see how this fleshes out, actually. But the protagonist and the character you play as, a hunter assigned to the Forbidden Lands Research Commission. Their job is to help investigate this unexplored region. First, if we click on the male hunter, very cool artwork. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of this guild or hunter armor in this game. It's stocked to the brim with all kinds of little knickknacks, knives in the pouch, super sick leather boots. It is fully covered in a huge cloak, hood. I'm a big fan of the hood, as you guys see on my channel. But we take a look at the female hunter as well. Oh God, I hope the female has the hood. I'm gonna be really upset, you guys, if they don't have the hood. But the female hunter is looking cute, of course. The legs aren't covered. Monster Hunter always has a knack for exposing the thighs for the female hunters. Some of you may not like that. I think it's cute. The boots are also coming in super strong here too as well. I hope we do get some more customization when it comes to male versus female armor though. But the female is rocking a huge bowgun on their back, and the male hunter is rocking a big, well, actually not that big, greatsword, but very cool to see the hunter return in such style and swag. But going on, it looks like palicos are our main buddy, a feline cat-like creature fully capable of speaking with people, who is the hunter's trusted palico partner. They'll provide valuable hunting and moral support. We already know all this, of course. The design here, I'm not really sure what we're going for, but the palico looks as cute as ever. Very nice to see. The palico does have a fishing rod on its back, actually, with a lure and tail. So fishing might be very important in Monster Hunter. Maybe you can set your palico to fish for you. I don't know. We're going to have to see how that unfolds, actually. Very cool stuff right there. Next, we are heading into Alma, the hunter's handler, one who manages Monster Hunter requests, permissions, and quests. She'll accompany you out on quests and provide valuable support and knowledge. So this is our confirmed handler, you guys. She has the book and everything. But a very cool design here as well. I think it's very simplistic, but somehow kind of modern, resembling the real world. I'm very happy to see the engine that they're using for this game really take flight with the faces of the characters. I think that they look absolutely amazing so far. Moving on to Gemma, a smithy with the Research Commission. She'll take care of all of your weapon and armor crafting needs. I think the idea here is that we are going to have a moving boat that is our main camp and hub area, especially if we have the smithy traveling with us. It's not in a main hub area. So maybe as we're out in our journeys with our Seikret, Seikret. We might not have access to the smithy, but Alma and Gemma remaining on the boat is my prediction for a main camp hub area. We do see that the wilds are pretty expansive, and we do have a vast sand desert, it looks like, from some of the trailers. So I'm really excited to see what they pull out with the boat mechanics and such like that. Maybe the boat is what helps us travel to the new locales that we're going to be researching as we are getting to explore the Forbidden Lands. Next up, we have Nata, a mysterious young boy that accompanies you on our journey. Not much to say here. He must have some great importance. Maybe he comes from a specific tribe of hunters or humans that have resided in the Forbidden Lands. We did see that there is something very significant with Nata. He will have to play some kind of significant role in the story later, but we have yet to find out what that is. That's about it for the info that is on the direct website itself. If you've played Monster Hunter World, the base game, or Monster Hunter World Iceborne, the base game with the massive expansion, that is amazing, we will get a feline armor set, the feline leather and the acorn spade and the duffel and the trekker pickaxe. Very cool. It looks like these were taken from Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, so these aren't actual photos from Monster Hunter Wilds, you guys. But this is good news, actually. If you have not played Monster Hunter World yet and you are looking to get in, obviously my channel is a prime place to get some nice guides for some of the weapons, but we also have monstrous savings. So it does seem like there is a sale going on for Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, but getting through more of the trailer, we start off with an open view shot of this vast desert. As you can see, one of the monsters in the bottom right is carrying a monster in its mouth. We also do have some flora and fauna next to a desert oasis with this game's raptor-like creatures in the background. We also have the Chotacabra at the right. He must be going for a drink of water or something, maybe to hydrate or dehydrate folks. But next, as we see, we are traversing with our Seikret, but our handler is also with us on their own Seikret. So maybe the handler could have a role in actually helping you hunt by doing strange things. I don't know. It is very nice that they have her animated, though, I think, traveling with you on your journey. But as we see here, some of the monsters also getting attacked by some lizards. We also have these beaked raptor-like wyverns in the background. Now, what is very interesting here, if we do pause and freeze the video, is you'll notice that this tree and this tree and this pillar will actually stay in the transformation that's about to pop up. So the Saratanoth are engaged in this environment for the Windward Plains, but if we play the video and continuing further, you'll notice that we transition into a barren version of the Windward Plains where the life is kind of desolate. I don't understand how that's going to work exactly. We saw a lot of the flora and the fauna is gone. The trees are a bit more decayed, but this is definitely the same pillar, the same tree right here, the same tree right here. If we double it back and take a look again, it really flawlessly transitions in this trailer right here. It really goes to show what these environments can be like depending on the time zone. And it shows it right here as well. We have some of these monsters, which I'm assuming are herbivores, getting attacked by gator-like monsters, but then we also have these big beaked raptors in the back. And what's actually really cool is that if we pause the video right here as well, we actually see what looks like a baby Puke flying across the trees. So you can imagine that I'm pretty happy. I mean, does this mean Puke confirmed? Hey, Capcom, huh? Looks like moving on, though, we do get a better look at the Doshiguma. It looks like there is a main pack leader for the Doshiguma. It seems to have red fur on its head. It looks like our handler is with us, of course. This must be a cutscene, I'm assuming. And as we see right here, there is a companion on the right in this trailer, right here. This is definitely our Palico, though. As we see here, the Palico on screen right now through this PNG, it has a green helmet, and it even has some of the yellow with the white fur trim for the rest of its outfit. And so if we do double back to take a look at this, we can actually see the bulb of the helmet come down with the helmet right up top here. It's just not lit up right now, as we see in the PNG right here. So this is definitely our Palico. No other new hunter or anything, just to clear that up. Next, moving in, we are looking at the Slinger right here. This is confirmed to not be the Clutch Claw. It is actually known as the Hook Slinger, the new improved version, as we saw on the website as well. So to quell anybody thinking that the Clutch Claw is returning, it is not actually confirmed yet. We are able to shoot environmental hazards to hit monsters, just like in Monster Hunter World. I don't think there's a whole lot here to actually look at, but as we see here, there is a storm cloud roiling in. This is what we saw in the first trailer. For some reason, our hunter is running toward it. I have no idea why, maybe we were running away from something else, because this does look like a very animated cutscene right here as we see. And as we see, it looks like all the Dosha Guma are getting swept up into something of a quicksand pitfall. But as we see here at the bottom, actually, there does seem to be some kind of sand serpent monster in the bottom of this pitfall, which might be causing these Dosha Guma to succumb to its environmental hazard. It might have been the monster that we were actually running away from in this part of the trailer. We have yet to see, but it looks like we narrowly escape the attack from this monster, but it looks like the monster actually was able to get one of the Dosha Guma, and it looks like a turf war does ensue here actually. So it looks like that is the introduction to another monster as well, but it looks like this might be one of the first monsters we are going up against in the Windward Plains. We can even see its body still on the ground right there. We have the Ceratanoth on the left as well. The lightning struck it, but it looks like the Dosha Guma also picked up the monster and slung it right back at us. So it looks like monsters can pick up other monsters and actually attack them with them even after they've deceased, which is honestly really cool. And it looks like the Chotacabra is zooming in on another subject. It looks like the Seikret is here in the background. It looks like it might be hurt, but we actually do not know who this is right here. They look to be wearing some kind of garb that's unfamiliar toward ours. Now, if we back it up slowly again and let it play out again, it looks like that was somebody who wasn't actually a part of the initial boat expedition squad that we had at the beginning of the trailer. And as we saw on the website, Dosha Guma likes to apply its adhesive saliva. It looks like it applies it to both of its arms to get ready for combat. It looks like it can fight with both of its fists and its tongue at the same time. Very cool design in my opinion. It looks to be pretty similar to Rajang in terms of body size and weight, but I'm assuming that this is also going to be one of the first monsters that we fight. But we see right here that it brings its fists up, and I think that that is to grab the rocks on the ground with the saliva that's already placed onto its arms. Now right here, it looks like the Chotacabra actually, whoops us, of course. But what is nice and interesting to note is that our Seikret does come to our rescue, so we are going to have ride mount rescues confirmed in Monster Hunter Wilds as well. And coming into more Chotacabra footage, it looks like we are seeing the big beaked raptor pack monsters actually taking on the Chotacabra. It seems like a very interesting take on the monster turf wars. We also see our Seikret right there coming to our rescue. We didn't get hit by the attack, but Seikret does come through at the last moment to get us out of there. Now, if we slow this down as well, as our Seikret comes to our rescue, we also see, and we saw on the website, that our hunter puts our greatsword away right here, stuffs it into the sheath, and pulls out the bow gun. Very cool, which means that we can switch our weapons while we are mounted. We already saw on the website that it did tell us that that is definitely going to be a thing. The weapon swapping mechanic, we have yet to know how the builds are going to work, especially when it comes to skills and all that. We also have the dismount attack, but right here we see the focused mode. This is a stance, I believe, in Monster Hunter Wilds, as the website would lead us with. But it looks like we actually have maybe an attack that staggered the monster or was something of a counterattack. But we have a tackle that goes really far. And it looks like it has a super sick follow-up that doesn't require a charge, but maybe you could get a charge attack out of that. It looks like we are also busting out the bowgun again for a super big blast. Not sure if this is Wyvern's Fire or a super new weapon mechanic with the heavy bowgun itself. I am assuming that is a heavy bowgun because it does look pretty large. This attack right here is also super awesome. I can't tell if this is some kind of part break attack or maybe a unique skill that we can have equipped. We do not know for sure, but as we see, there are scales and stuff or hide breaking off the monster as it does happen. Right here, we see more snippets of the backstory maybe for our hunter. They selected us as the leader of the expedition. This will be a custom character, I believe. We'll maybe make our custom character. We'll see that, and then we will probably progress into the Windward Plains just like this. And boom, as we see here too, SOS flares are returning. And then what happens after that? The squad starts rolling in on all of their Seikrets as well. Very cool here. If we pause the video though, right here, On the left, we can see a hunter who definitely has a hammer, and we're going to get into why we definitely know that's a hammer later. But we also see that this looks to be some kind of longsword or something as we play it. It doesn't look quite as big as the greatsword, but maybe from this angle, we just really cannot tell. And right here, we can't really get a good look of the weapon on the person on the right from the front camera view and the left on the back camera view, but this definitely looks like a folded up bowgun, you guys. So I don't think that there's any new weapons that have been unveiled here. This is definitely a hammer, and we're going to see it coming up here in the rest of the trailer. We see right here, we are in the focus stance, or another kind of stance, probably focused. We are able to parry and actually repel the monster's attack and go into some kind of animation that might be monster specific. But what is awesome and super sick to see here is that we are holding the monster down. And as we see this unfold, let's take a look at the hunters over here. It looks like the hammer hunter does get a side blow with the hammer into the typical overhead swing. So it looks like we still do have some of these similar attacks with the hammer in this game, but what we're also seeing right here actually might just be a particle effect that is showing our stun damage going on. It might have a blue hue, as you saw right there. We really can't tell, or if it's the bowgunner shots that are actually hitting those blue flame spark shots as we see. But yeah, that's the trailer, you guys. There's not a whole lot left to gather from this trailer besides that it is going to be on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam all at the same time. These three platforms really is leading me to think that this game is going to be crossplay. They showed all these platforms off with the first trailer. I really think it's going to be crossplay, you guys. I definitely think so. We don't have a new release date yet, though, but you can wishlist it on Steam, and I believe the consoles platforms. I have yet to actually check up on that. But that is the end of the video, I believe, guys and gals. I think we went over most of the things that we saw in the trailer. Small Easter eggs here and there, maybe how the weapons are going to work. We talked about the weapon playstyle, but most of the info we actually just gathered from the actual website. So if you haven't seen the website or want to study it more, maybe there's something I missed in the video, go check out the website. They have all kinds of info. They have all the names of all the monsters and stuff too. It looks like they're really rolling out the info with this game as we get into the end of the year, because I think that they really want to build some hype. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys and gals. If you don't know, I am actually streaming 3 to 4 to even 5 times a week right here on YouTube and even over on Twitch now. We're multi-streaming with Monster Hunter World. We also are uploading videos every week to 2 weeks here on the channel. We are building a lot of anticipation for Monster Hunter Wilds. So if you want to join me in this journey of excitement all the way up until then and play with the squad and even join the Discord maybe, I have all the links in the description and on my main channel page for you to get linked up on Twitch, YouTube, or Discord, wherever you want to find me and our hunters. But that's it for today's video, guys and gals. I really hope you had a good one. I had a good day myself. This is Terroriza. I'm signing off, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.